Hello and welcome to 200 North Main, the show where we talk about all the wonderful things happening at the Wallingford Public Library, located, guess where? You guessed it, 200 North Main Street. My name is Julie Rio. I am the Adult Programming and Community Services Librarian, and joining me today is Sunnie Scarpa, who is the head of Children's Services. Hi, Sunnie. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, and how about you?
I'm great. I love when we get a chance to get together and talk about the library. And today what we're going to talk about is all of the programs that are coming up this fall. And I don't know about you, I know Children's is always busy with programs, but the adult programming side, we've got so many things coming up. But let's get started with what you have.
Sure. Well, fall is always sort of a reboot time. I don't know how you guys feel. For us, especially with the kids going back to school, but I bet you feel this way too, because we do, very different things in the summer. So fall is sort of a chance to look at things again, reboot some things, tweak some things, and sort of relaunch a lot of things in the public library. So we have some favorites, and we have some new stuff going on, and basically, we just have a lot, just a lot. So,
well, that's great though, because it keeps the kids engaged, and for all age groups, I know, and some things for parents too, right?
Yes. So we have things for every age group from 0. Literally, we have had parents come in and sign their unborn children up for programs. Literally, it's happened twice now, and everything to workshops for parents and grandparents who are caring for their children. So I'll start at the lower end of the spectrum. Just a quick mention, because I could go on and on, but we don't have that much time, about our storytime classes. These are sort of the mainstay of the children's room. We have 9 weekly story times that run in 6-week sessions, and 9 per week, from, as I said, age 0, and these go up to age 5 when they're transitioning to kindergarten. The reason that we focus so heavily on our storytime classes for the very young is because 90% of a child's brain actually develops before they turn 5 years old.
That's interesting.
So, you know how people say, oh, a kid's brain is like a sponge? Well, there's tons of research to back that up. It really is like a sponge. So,
and I think it's interesting that even as high-tech as society gets, we still go back to the story time.
Yes, that's a very good point. We do have some high-tech stuff. We do discuss apps and how we can use them educationally during our preschool story time, but nothing really beats a song, a rhyme, a book to help children build those neural pathways and get them ready for starting school. And that's something we really partner with the public schools in Wallingford, so that all kids have an opportunity to start school with the same vocabulary and knowledge base. And it's great for parents too, because they pick up all of these early literacy facts that they can take home and practice at home as well. So all of that information, obviously, and for all the programs that we're going to discuss today, more info is on our website.
Which I should mention is wallingfordlibrary.org.
And the calendar is right there. It's very easy to find information, and for most programs, you register as well. Then we have our ongoing programs for school-age kids, and we have 9 monthly programs. So for school-age kids, we start transitioning to monthly versus weekly because they're in school. They might have after-school programs, sports, extracurricular activities that they're part of.
And homework too.
And homework. I'll get to that later, because we do offer homework help too.
Excellent.
So we have, this fall, we have some favorites, like the Saturday sing-along, that's for younger kids. Lego clubs, very popular. Chess club for older kids. Reading to Rover has been really popular.
Oh, I think that's an
I'm
adorable
a dog person,
program.
yes.
So let's just quickly mention what that's about.
Yeah. So we have certified therapy dogs come in, and the kids sign up for a 15-minute session with the dog, and it gives children who are learning to read or just getting comfortable reading aloud a chance to practice. And having a cute, cuddly dog there makes it so they're not so self-conscious. A lot of kids start, when they start reading out loud, hearing your own voice, if you make mistakes. It really just makes it very easy and much more enjoyable for children who might
having a nice
be having trouble.
little cuddly dog next to them to calm
Exactly.
the anxiety that may be there. I think that's great.
Exactly. And it's a lot of fun for the staff too, because we're all dog people. So we really, really enjoy that. So that's coming up. And we just saw some research coming out about how helpful that is for emerging readers as well. So it was nice to know we were on the right track.
Excellent.
So we've been doing that for about a year. We have a couple new things. We have something new called Mrs. Zorn's Zany Stories and More. This is with a retired paraeducator in town. She's wonderful. That's going to be just a fun, surprising thing for kids in grades 1 and 2. And then we have Break It Make It Lab. Has been super popular. Collaboration Station, those are really hands-on programs for kids in grades 3 to 5. There's nothing like hands-on learning. And to get out of a classroom setting, do a lot of experimenting, sort of see behind the scenes of electronics and coding. And
because the Break It Make It Lab, they take apart electronics. Is that right?
They do that every fall.
To see what are the inner workings.
Exactly.
I think adults would like that too. Maybe
They
we
do.
should
They
try
would.
that for adults.
It's really popular. It's really popular. They do that every fall, and it sparks imagination. It sparks curiosity. So we hope the kids come to that, realize how interesting science and technology can be, and then go back to school more excited about their science classes. So that's really the point of that one. And then we have a new one Miss Carrie's doing this fall, and we're really excited about, called Sweet Treats. So the kids are going to make and eat a delicious treat while they listen to a story and talk about it. We've always thought about, how do we do a story time for older kids? Because the kids get, they love story time so much when they're little. And honestly, older kids really love to be read to as well. Parents, don't think your kids want to stop being read to when they go back to school. So how do we make it not seem babyish? Because, they get to that age, like, they can't do anything babyish, you know? So this is a fun way to do. It's a sneaky story time, but older kids also get to do an activity, and they might not be ready for a book club. So this is sort of in between. So
nice.
Really excited about that, and the info that's coming up in October. So the info on that is online, and then we do have, as you mentioned, kids have homework, and we offer homework help Monday through Thursdays in the children's room. So Monday and Wednesday afternoons from 4 to 8, we have Mrs. Cabrera come over from Moses Y Beach. She's an award-winning paraeducator, bilingual, and she does sort of a group homework session for anyone who stops in. She's really great at helping kids get unstuck.
Nice.
I remember being a kid. You get that mental block sometimes, and you have trouble making progress.
Or you just don't understand it.
Yes.
And either maybe in school you're too embarrassed to ask a question, or you're just not even there to formulate what the question is in your mind.
Sure.
And so
you think of the question when you get home.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. So it can really help with that. And then we also we're lucky enough to have Choate students come over Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's from 4 to 5:15. And they can offer individual instruction for kids in grades K through 5.
That's a really nice partnership that we have with Choate.
It really
because
is.
I know there are some Choate students who come over to the adult side of the library and offer computer tutoring. As a matter of fact, when we just left the library now, there were some Choate students working with an individual to help him understand Facebook.
Perfect.
So I think they were very qualified to help him with that.
They're the perfect.
Yeah,
High
perfect
school
age.
students are perfect. Perfect age for that. So that's
great.
kind of what I wanted to highlight. I mean, I could talk about programs all day. I'm sure you could too, but those are some of the
because
highlights.
The Children's Department does so many wonderful programs. And to just highlight a few, that's great. And we could be here all day just talking about the Children's Department. But let's get to
Moving on
to the Teen Department. They have a program that's based on the Netflix show Stranger Things.
So popular.
So popular,
goodness.
especially with the teens. It's like a cross between E.T., Poltergeist, Goonies, and Gremlins. So all of these 80s things. And they have programs coming up. They're doing an upside-down art project, which is based on mirroring.
Cool.
Apparently the characters in the show like to play Dungeons and Dragons. So they're going to learn the teens are going to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
And also one of the characters in the show likes to eat waffles.
Well,
So they're going.
who doesn't
So
like
yes,
to eat
the
waffles?
teen librarian Jen Nash is going to make some cake batter waffles with the teens.
Nice.
So that's great.
That's going to be very popular.
Then on the adult side, we're doing lots of wonderful things, but I have 3 programs that I really just want to highlight. One is a supernatural evening with Jeff Bellinger. And again, all this information is on our website, or you could call the library at 203-265-6754. And Jeff Bellinger is a paranormal researcher. He's written a dozen books. And he's also the host of a TV show and several TV shows. So he's going to be at the library talking about the unexplained, the paranormal, and the just plain weird.
Nice. And can we just take a second to say how beautiful this flyer is? Look at that.
Kudos go to
That's super cool.
to Chris on our staff who does all of our flyers.
That's awesome.
Another program on the adult side is the long and fascinating history of toilets.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That sounds like a program for the children's room.
I bet you think that Thomas Crapper invented the toilet, but he did not. Come to the program on October 21st, and you will learn the long and fascinating history of the toilet. Kimberly Warsham, who is a manager of monitoring and evaluation for the Safe Water Network in New York, she's going to be there. She's going to tell you everything you wanted to know and didn't want to know about the toilet.
Fascinating.
Then, lastly, we have a very talented musician from Atlanta, Georgia, coming. He plays classical flamenco guitar.
Ooh, that's
But he
fun.
plays acoustic and electric. And his name is Gladius. I'm telling you, this guy, I watched his videos on YouTube. He blew my mind.
Nice.
GladiusMusic.com.
Great.
And so those are just some wonderful programs that we're having. But again, go to the library website at wallingfordlibrary.org and you'll find out all the interesting things. And I want to ask you a question. We have to take a break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk with Cindy, who's on our staff. So why did the dinosaur cross the road? Think about that as we take a break.
Okay.
Sunny, I want to see if you come up with the answer to that one.
Exciting.
Hello and welcome back to 200 North Main. My name is Julie Rio. I am the Adult Programming and Community Services Librarian at the library. And before we left, I asked you a question. Why did the dinosaur cross the road? Any guesses?
Suspense is killing us. Go ahead.
Because chickens hadn't evolved yet.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you for that.
No.
So joining me now are Sunnie Scarpa, who is the head of Children's Services at the Wallingford Public Library, and also Cindy Haiken, who is our reference librarian and Reader's Advisory Assistant, perhaps, extraordinaire. So Cindy, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. First, how long have you been with the Wallingford Public Library? And second, what is Reader's Advisory Librarian?
So I've been with the library for about a year. It's been quite a year, a whirlwind year, and Reader's Advisory is really talking to people about the books they like to read, suggesting other books they might like to read. If they liked this kind of book, they should try this. We have the new North Main Book Nook in front of the circulation desk, and I'm involved in putting those displays together. There's the What to Read Next bulletin board that I put up. We have a reading blog called North Main Book Notes that I'm in charge of, and the book club and all that stuff.
And I have to say, what fascinates me about Cindy is not only does she read a lot.
So much.
So much. But her retention you know, and I know I'm talking about you and you're sitting right there.
Great. It's great.
But it's compliments.
But,
So far.
but yeah, you know, anytime someone comes into the library and says, I don't know what to read next, I always send them Cindy's way. So I'm going to make a plug for you in that way. That
Good job.
if you come down to the library and you say, what book do I need to read next? You talk to Cindy because she will have an excellent suggestion for you.
Or 5.
Or 5. And actually, that's what we're going to talk about now is some great books that are coming out in the coming months or maybe that have already come out. So, Sunny, I know you
Yes.
brought with you a few children's books.
Yes, I brought some props because children's books are just so darn cute. So I brought some with me. I have a picture book just came out that we're all really excited about called The Little Red Cat Who Ran Away and Learned His ABCs the Hard Way. This is great for any preschool kids or emerging readers because it just has the alphabet and then these fantastical, really adorable drawings. You can see how cute the little characters are. So for pre-readers or new readers, they're seeing the alphabet and then they're decoding the fantastical pictures that tell the story. So it's great and very cute. We're very excited to integrate that into some story times.
And that makes me think, why did the cat cross the road?
Oh no. Why?
It was the chicken's day off. Okay, next book.
I gave that one to you. All right. Next, I just wanted to showcase a brand new book we're really excited about. So this is the new book by Jason Reynolds called Patina. We've all been really excited for this one. It is sort of a sequel, sort of a companion to his book Ghost. This is a series about a group of kids who may be eligible for the Junior Olympics. So they're sports themed, but they're really interesting stories about the kids' lives. Super well written, just beautiful, and really engaging for the kids. So great for kids who like sports, but great for kids who are not interested in sports either.
Now, what age group is that for?
So these would be probably grades 3 to 5, really depending on the kid. One of the other things I love is it's about a group of kids, but this one centers on a male protagonist, and this one has a female protagonist. So the girls aren't left out of the sports world the way sometimes they used to be. So we love that, and we've been really excited to see more from Jason Reynolds. He's an author who's been winning a lot of awards in the past years. I was lucky enough to see him speak in New York at a professional development day that I went to. Great guy and great author. So we're stoked to read more from him.
Excellent. And our teen librarian gave me, Jennifer Nash, she gave me a few teen books that are coming out that the teens are really excited about. The first one is called Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart.
I read that one.
Did you?
Oh my gosh.
It was, she
Really
wrote
good.
We Were Liars a few years ago, and that was a great book. Great surprise, twisty ending.
Yes.
And this one is more of the same, a thriller. And she wrote another mind-twisting, exciting, and incredibly messed up offering.
Yes.
The other book that everyone is excited about is by John Green,
Oh, yes.
who is a teen writer, author extraordinaire. He
Sensation.
writes sensation. You may remember he wrote The Fault in Our Stars, and that was his last book that came out 5 years ago.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
So everyone is really excited about this next offering, which is called Turtles All the Way Down. And recently, he has a vlog, which is a video blog, with his brother, and he recently confessed that he suffers from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and also anxiety. And that's kind of where this book goes. It's I guess semi-personal, semi-autobiographical account of mental illness. So everybody's really excited about that because he writes really well for the young adult audience and also the adult audience. To be honest, I've read all of his books and I
Yes.
thought they were
They're
great.
really good.
So, you know, it brings you back to those teen years, for better or worse.
Yes.
But yeah. And so, Cindy, now you have a few books for adults
I
that
do.
are coming
So
out or
I
have
just
come out.
I have a few ideas for everyone who's interested in new books. The fall publishing season is very big in the adult book world. The biggest release of the fall season probably is a new novel by John le Carré called The Legacy of Spies. He's the master of the classic British spy novel, and he's 85 years old. He's been writing them for over 5 decades. And it's been 25 years since his last George Smiley novel, and no one was expecting this, and he came out with this new book.
Now, what is his most famous book?
Probably Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is another George
yes.
Smiley novel. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold is another well-known one. There are many George Smiley novels, but again, there hasn't been one in 25 years, and this one debuted at #1 on the Times bestseller list. So everyone was waiting for it.
Waiting 25 years.
Publishers Weekly said that he can convey a character in a sentence, land an emotional insight in the smallest phrase, and demolish an ideology in a paragraph, which is a quote I love.
I love
and
that.
so you have to read that
Yes,
one.
definitely.
Anytime John Grisham has a new novel coming out, it's a thing, and really he's been churning them out for about one a year. So he's got a new novel coming out this fall called The Rooster Bar, which is about 3 law school students who are finishing up law school and they're heavily in debt, and they find out that the school that they go to, which is a terrible, terrible law school, is owned by a shady hedge fund that also owns the bank that they lent the money to them to go to law school in the first place.
Very timely, I feel like.
Yes. So they want to expose the bank and the hedge fund and the scam, and the book is about how they figure out how to do that.
Now, all of his books center around lawyers. Is that
Yes,
right?
he used to be a lawyer.
Okay, what is his most famous one?
I don't
All of
think you
them.
could actually.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm not sure you could actually answer that. To tell you the truth, you have an idea. I mean, he's
No,
I
just
don't
his
know that I
name,
Now, a
think,
lot
is
of his
the
books
most
have become
famous.
movies, like
about
the
nine of
Pelican's
his
Reef,
books.
right?
Yeah, but I don't know that. I mean, there probably is a statistic that would answer that question, but I think he's become. People
So
just
big.
want to read a new John Grisham when it comes out, and I'm not sure you can point to one and say that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
excellent.
an
What else have
interesting
you got?
thing.
Okay, so Ken Follett, another big author, he's written 30 books in his time as a writer, and there are 160 million copies of his books in print.
Wow.
And his #1, you should have asked me about this one. His #1 most popular book is called Pillars of the Earth, which came out in 1989, and it's set in the early Middle Ages about this fictional town in England called Kingsbridge. It was an Oprah Book Club selection, and it's just about this town and architects in this town in the early Middle Ages figuring out how to build a beautiful cathedral. He wrote a sequel to that called A World Without End about 10 years later. Takes place about 150 years forward and is about what happens in that town as the church becomes more powerful, and the church versus the merchants. And now we have, those 2 books together have sold 38 million copies. The new book is called A Column of Fire. It's the 3rd book. It's set in 1558, which is right before Queen Elizabeth took the throne, and it's about her reign and the whole Catholic versus Protestant civil war, religious civil war that was going on in the country.
And those are
Wow.
not light
1,000
books.
pages each.
1,000 pages
Wow.
each.
And
but
you can't put them down,
And they're
That's a
epic.
good
Epic.
sign.
They're epic.
That's a good sign.
So
and-
great.
yeah,
People are
and
very
what's
excited about
next?
that. Okay.
Nice.
A
Great stuff.
cajillion biographies coming out this season.
Cajillion.
Cajillion.
That's a
Okay.
special reader's advisory word.
Okay.
Jargon.
Library jargon.
Right. They taught us that in the last year of library
Okay.
school.
Yes.
So biographies of presidents, biographies of musicians, biographies of sports figures. But the big biography, the one that most people are talking about, is a biography of Leonardo da Vinci, written by Walter Isaacson, who was the managing editor of Time magazine and used to run CNN. And now he's a professor of history at Tulane. But he's written best-selling biographies of Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, and Henry Kissinger. And for this one, he reviewed thousands and thousands of pages of Da Vinci's own notebooks. And he used them to try to tell a story that connects the artistic side of Da Vinci to the scientific side of Da Vinci, and shows how we always think of those two things as really separate, and you're
we do.
either strong in one or the other, but Da Vinci was strong in both. And this book tries to weave those together and show how that can be.
That sounds fascinating.
It does, really.
And there's a great, the cover is a great close-up of Da Vinci's face. It's very dramatic.
Cool. Oh, that
So
sounds
now I
great.
have more books on my TBR,
Yes.
to be read pile,
Yes.
To go along with all the other books that I really want to read that are coming out. It's just, I encourage everyone to come down to the library and see all the wonderful books that we already have on the shelf. Talk to Cindy about books that are coming out that they may be interested in reading, because Cindy is really a wealth of information when it comes to books that are coming out and books that read like maybe what you like to read. I think that's a wonderful talent that you have,
Thank
and
you so
we're
much.
so happy to be that you're at the library. And of course, I have to ask you another joke.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Why did the chicken go to the seance? To get to the other side.
Painful.
That's such a perfect ending joke.
Well, actually, no, I have another ending joke.
Another ending joke. Okay.
Why did the chicken stop crossing the road?
Oh. Huh. Why?
Because it got tired of everyone making jokes about it.
Bravo. Bravo.
I can't.
Well done.
I can't.
No, that was a good
So
one.
again, I encourage everyone, come down to the library or visit our website, which was actually newly revamped. It's
beautiful.
And it's much cleaner and easier to find things, and it's wallingfordlibrary.org. And it's just, a wealth of information. And I'm sorry, I also wanted to say, call the library if you have any questions,
Yes, of
which
course.
is 203, help me out, 265.
I only know the children's number.
6754. So
Good job. Good job.
thank you. I think that's the number. But you know
Phone
what?
number is listed on the website.
Exactly. If you go to the website, you will see the phone number as well. And I thank you all for joining us today. I thank Sunnie very much, and I thank Cindy for being here today. And I just want to say that there are lots of wonderful things going on at the Wallingford Public Library, so I encourage you to come down, visit our website, because our doors open to endless possibilities. Thank you all for joining us.